Hey you guys, it's Paige of Pure Beauty Performance, coach to the Pure Beauty Mavericks, and I'm coming to you from my kitchen. This morning, it's actually first thing in the morning, I want to show you guys how to make granola, and I actually am going to be following a recipe here. It's my favorite. I haven't made it enough times to know it off by heart yet, but I have all of the ingredients. I'll just sort of tip this down, all the ingredients, and so as you can see, I store things. I'm a mason jar maniac, so I store a lot of things in mason jars, and yeah, like even my spices I keep all nicely organized in little mason jars, and you can get all these at various places, like you can get them at Zehrs, Canadian Tire, Walmart, depending where you are in the States. If you're watching this, then you'll have equivalent stores down there, like just big box stores where you can get this stuff. So we'll just get on with it here. So I'm actually going to make a double batch of this because I use a lot of it, and then what I don't use of it, I eat this like every morning, and I put blueberries on it, and then I make my own homemade almond milk, so I use that. And what I don't use, I just store in extra. I have just lots of empty mason jars, and I just put the clusters, like the clumps, in here, and then I throw them into the freezer. And then when I'm finished with one jar, then I just pull out another one, so it's pretty easy. So I'm doubling the recipe on this one. It says, you can use almond meal, or you can grind your own almonds. And you can do that in a food processor or whatever. I just buy the almond meal because it's already done, and it just cuts down on time. So I'm going to use a cup of this. You don't have to be super duper precise when you're working with granola, because it's just a whole bunch of stuff thrown together, and it just depends on what you want to have. So there's the almond meal. I already, I'll just take you over here because I already cut up the, or sort of processed. I put them in a food processor, was the walnuts and the almonds. So hopefully you can see that there. So I'll just throw those into the bowl. And what I really, really love is one pot meals. So I just like to have, so as you can see, actually, I'll pull this over, that there is like whole almonds in there, and that's okay. We want it to be really chunky. So we have that in there, and then because I'm doubling this recipe, we're going to do 1.5 cups of oats. So these are just your old-fashioned oats, not quick oats. You want the large flake ones. And again, I'm not going to be like super precise. I'm just going to do a half of what I can see on here. I never used to be like this. I never used to wing it like this, where I was just like, whatever, just throw in some stuff and whatever. I used to follow recipes to a T, but the more I've cooked over the years, I guess the more comfortable I am, and the more I've learned that it kind of doesn't matter. Some recipes it does, but something like this it doesn't. And then we have buckwheat groats. So as you can see, some of my stuff is in bags like this. So just go to your local store that sells bulk foods. In Canada, it's the Bulk Barn. So I just go there, and that's where I get my almond meal, and it's where I get a lot of my nuts and seeds, and then I just store them in mason jars. So we wanted a cup of that. I'm actually going to post this recipe as well below, because this will be a little bit long. This video, and then we're going to put in some dried cranberries. I tried this with goji berries. It didn't work out so well. They can't handle the I'm just going to put all these in. It calls for basically 1.5 cups, but I think I have a little bit less. Actually, I don't like things too sweet, so I'm not going to put as many in this time. because that's just how I am. I'm not like a super duper sweet person in the morning. Well, I am in real life, but then we want to put in a cup of pumpkin seeds. So these are amazing, and you want to get those so that they're not toasted. You don't want them roasted, you want them raw. So I'm going to put in a cup of those. And then we have sunflower seeds, so I'm going to put in a half a cup of sunflower seeds. These ones I got just in, they have a nuts and seeds section at Zehrs, and so your local grocery store probably has this too, so half a cup of those. I'm running out of shredded coconut, so what I do is I keep a list on my fridge, and as I make something like this and I run out of something, I'm just going to put all of this in there. Then I just stick it on the list, and then the next time I go to the grocery store, which is pretty often because I'm always making new things, I just put it on the list, and then I pick it up the next time I'm in there, so that, because I know that I'm going to make this again. My cinnamon, I'm going to put in, it's 4 teaspoons of this stuff. Cinnamon is so yummy. It smells so good. And again, I'm I don't really care about, it's just cinnamon can't hurt you, and if you like cinnamon, nothing can be too cinnamony. What else we got here? We have salt. So I'm going to put in half a teaspoon of salt into this. Oops, let's get it out here. And again, I will post this recipe for you guys so that you have all the amounts and you can make this yourself. What else do we got here? Oh yes, so we're gonna give this a stir around, so I'm just gonna show you what we've got here. It's just all this yumminess. I'm gonna stir this around a little bit. Get it all combined in here. I'm gonna break up these cranberries. I get those at the bulk barn as well. So much you can get there, it's amazing once you get in there, especially when you're new to nutrition. It can be a little overwhelming at first because you'll hear foods that you've never heard of before, but they're all there for the most part anyway. So we're gonna put in half a cup of maple syrup. I'm gonna run out here, and there's a few certain things that I get at Costco. I get my almonds there because it's a lot cheaper, and I get my maple syrup there as well. Quinoa is a really good one to get there. Let's just get this. So there's your maple syrup. And then we want to put in some, oh gosh, half a cup of coconut oil. So I gotta put this on my list because I'm running out. It's nice and runny because my condo is still really, really warm. I'm a west facing condo. So it's always warm in here. And then a few teaspoons of vanilla extract, and so I got the Simply Organic one. So I'll put in a few of that. Making a mess here. Okay, so all the liquid stuff is in there, so I just go over my recipe just to make sure I have everything in here, and I do. So now I just give this a stir around again, and I'll show it to you once I'm finished stirring it up. Just make sure that everything's combined. Everything has got a little bit of coconut oil and maple syrup, and there's a bit of almond meal in here, which is kind of like a flour. It's ground almonds, so I want to make sure it's all combined. And I really like the killer ingredient that I just absolutely love, and I think what makes this granola for me is the buckwheat groats. So you just go get raw buckwheat groats at your bulk barn or whatever you have in your area for bulk foods, and it just adds this amazing crunch. They toast up so nice. God, I love them. So that's it. So then I have this massive bowl. So this makes about 4 liters of granola, and that lasts me a while because granola really packs a punch. It's very high in calories, so you don't need a ton of it. And so then what I do is I just dump it out onto, I'll show you once I'm finished here. I'll dump about half of the mixture onto, there we go, this cookie sheet that has parchment paper on it. And then I just spread it out. And so then it doesn't stick. It probably won't stick, but I just like it on the parchment paper better. You get it toasting. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. And then I flatten it a bit with just a spatula. Here, I'll bring it over. So this is, whoops, hand. Oh, okay. Let's try this way. Yeah, so with a spatula, and I'm just patting it down so that when it cooks, it sticks together. And then you cook it on, so that's good enough. Then you cook it on 275, and then once it's out of the oven, you let it cool. And you want to let it cool so that it doesn't break apart into like fine little things, but you can see it here, probably better. I don't want it to go too far, it's going to slide off. But you let it cool, and then it will break apart into like big chunks. And super duper yummy, super duper nutritious, so nutrient dense, and so much better than anything that you can buy in a store. Fresh is best, and making it yourself is the best. And as you can see, like, it's super fast. And essentially I just put it in there, and I think it is 30 minutes. Let's just see here. Yeah, it's about 25 minutes or 20 minutes one way, and then you spin the tray around, and then it's another 25 minutes that way. So it's pretty easy. And if you have like 2 ovens, you can do this lickety split, but I just have one, so I'm going to throw it in here. And that's it. I turn my timer on for 20 minutes. And it'll let me know when it's done. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I guess it's my second one. I've done one on a smoothie before. This is my second in your kitchen, so I know we'll get better at these, but yeah, I hope you have an amazing day, and let me know of any things that you would love to know how to make. And I will go out, if I haven't already, because I experiment with food all the time, and I will go out and find a recipe, and I only ever post recipes that are super yummy. They have to really taste good because I love food, so in order for me to make them again or to recommend them to you or any of my clients, they have to be like top notch. So I will catch you guys again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.